So there's really what's needed here is a galaxy of kind of solutions. If you'll bear with me on that pun. Let's walk through what those are briefly. So there's more strategic solutions to solving the creative challenge, more tactical. There's in-house and there's outsourced. Starting with your internal creative team, a critical piece of the pie, right? Your creative team should be doing mostly strategic work. If they're not, you need to look for solutions. You can optimize your internal creative teams, right? You can give them tools, ticketing tools, other things. Those are going to be tweaks and are important to do. But like ultimately, the other way you could solve the problem is trying to hire. But we know hiring in today's world is very hard. And we also know that you'll probably never be able to hire for all of your needs. So pros and cons of each one. Internal teams, we know that they get the brand, they get the strategy, they understand what's going on. So we need to let them do that work. Second, in-house tools, self-service tools. Getting a digital asset management tool, putting in templates for PowerPoints, one-pagers, even digital advertising, or even video. We've seen some folks do. This is great. Folks should definitely do this. What we've seen is that this isn't necessarily a game changer in solving the problems. It's a nice step, helps take some of the tactical work off your internal team's plate. So you also need to look at outsourcing. It's really a must for modern marketing creative teams. And there's two typical solutions. One are creative agencies. They are set up to do more strategic work. That's the kind of work that they are built around. That's what's most valuable to their business. And they can do great work and do it at scale. They have typically an expertise, right? Like a video agency, a branding agency, a web design agency. And if you don't have that expertise, or you need some help there, or you need some scale, they can often do that. But we know it can be hard working with them. They can be inflexible. They can be expensive. Rarely will they do everything you need. And as I mentioned before, they want to do strategic work. That's what their business is set up to do. So that usually comes at the expense of your internal creative team. And so the business model is not set up for them to be good partners with your internal team. The other area that you outsource to are freelancers. The explosion of freelancer networks really speaks to the challenges I think that agencies have in serving the needs here. Freelancers can be great. They can be really fast and flexible. Sometimes they are excellent at producing work at low cost. They can be really affordable and save you budget, but they're not a panacea either, right? They don't scale, right? If you want more stuff done, you need to find another freelancer, right? More overhead, more challenges of time finding someone, getting them set up, managing them, etc. They're inherently unreliable, and sometimes, and by that I just mean not that they're bad, but simply that someone could get sick, someone may have to take on work from another client or find a full-time job, and so it can be hard to know with confidence they'll be available in the future. And then lastly, sometimes they will struggle to support more strategic work, which could be okay, but they're not a great solution for that. So the problem with the current world is that the outsourcing solutions, as we kind of got to, leave you with a lot of vendors on your budget, each requiring different management, passing on a lot of this overhead onto you. They each have, from creative agencies to freelancers, have challenges of being maybe expensive or slow or inflexible on the creative side, or they might be unreliable, time consuming to deal with, lack the scale and reliability at the freelancer level. And this is kind of what we've been stuck with in terms of trying to solve this creative solution from an outsourcing standpoint. And this is really why Superside was created. We started 2018 and have been working with hundreds of brands to help them with a different model of outsourcing. And we call this model creative as a service. Creative as a service is something that Superside has pioneered. There are a number of other creative subscriptions or design subscriptions that are also in the market. So we're not the only ones out there. What is creative as a service? It's a new model for creative and design outsourcing that really takes the best of the agency and freelancer models without having the hassle that each one has. Creative as a service will deliver high quality creative and design faster, more reliably, and at the scale that you need to get that marketing performance we've been talking about in this digital first noisy world that's hard to compete in. It is technology. So CaaS is technology enabled. It's a subscription similar to SaaS. And it will deliver compelling creative on demand, so really fast, within a clear, defined budget. You have total control and transparency around what you're getting for what you pay, and is able to do it at a scale and breadth of skills that's really unparalleled by agencies or freelancers. How does that work? How do you get all these benefits from CaaS? Sounds great, right? So what CaaSes do is they combine three key elements in a unique way to provide this new solution. First is providing remote access to remote creative talent. And unlike a freelancer network, this is a fully managed experience. So you're not going into a marketplace. You're going in and working with a select group of creatives, and it's in an experience where it's managed at Superside. We give you a creative project manager and a creative director who are your points of contact, and the actual designers and folks doing the work. You may have 30 people working on a project. Designers, you don't have to deal with 30 people, right? You have your points of contact to ensure things go smoothly. The project is well managed. The creative quality is well managed. It's on brand, et cetera. So that's how we do it. We have, I think, like 700 people now working for us at Superside doing this kind of work. Second piece that defines CaaS is that it's technology enabled. So you go to an online platform, which is used for briefing in projects, reviewing and communicating on creative projects that are in motion, and connecting with your points of contact at the creative as a service company. It simplifies the experience. It enables things to be always on. At Superside, we cover all 24 hours. We will have people working in your time zone. And so you can go brief in, work at any time, and we'll get started, and then actually be able to work essentially while you're sleeping. So that's a cool part of our particular model in particular. So you got the people, the remote, all connected to the technology to make things work really smoothly for the end user. And then third is you have this subscription model. So the subscription model makes CaaS an ongoing solution. It's not just for one project. It's something that you would always want kind of on your books, and it's always available. And because you can use the subscription across different types of projects, so from video to digital ads to brand to whatever, you can use it in different ways to fill in gaps. It covers both the more tactical production work as well as more of the strategic creative work that you might need to outsource. And since CaaSes are a little less built around just doing strategic work, we end up being a better partner to your internal teams. The subscription model is kind of what enables this, right? So you're similar to your SaaS tools, right? They're ongoing subscription. This is always available. In the case of Superside, you get hours that you can use however you want on, video, whatever kind of like different agency service or production service you would need. And then if you don't use them, they just roll over to the next month. So you know exactly what you're getting and have this flexibility to kind of treat a company like Superside as a all-in-one or one-stop shop for creative resources. And then lastly, CaaSes are flexible, right? They're not rigid like agencies. So a CaaS could replace all of your agencies or freelancers, this big list, or it could replace some. And because we work well with internal creative teams, we work just as well with agencies or freelancers. So if you have a great branding agency, you're going through a rebrand, but they don't want to do all the execution work, a CaaS solution might be something you want to look at. So,
Thomas, sorry, I have to stop you. We are way over time.
I am so sorry. Yeah, I ran.
In our format, we need to be strict on timing.
Absolutely. Totally understand. If you're interested in learning more about CaaS, come to Superside, check it out. And we also have a guide to give you more tips on the technical
just
challenge.
shared in the chat the link to the guide. Thomas,
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Have any time for a question? Thank you.
Thank you so much.